as little sister say, hey, blow a kiss.
Hey there, how are you doing? Let's get started. Today I want to bring up a topic. I want to share my own experience, talk about myself, but I also want to get you thinking about a crucial point that could maybe change your life too. Okay, if you live in Brazil, you probably saw a scandal that just broke out. Yeah, guys, another scandal. But this time, what I find outrageous is that they stole from defenseless people, people who spent their whole lives paying in only to get robbed in the end. It's ridiculous, but it's real. I brought some numbers. Let's take a look. INSS has already affected more than 9 million people, causing a loss of about 6 billion. Of course, that number could go up. Some people are already talking about 90 billion, some are saying 200 million. So we still don't really know the full scale of it. This is the time for us to rethink our approach, rethink our strategies to build a legacy and a safer structure for our families. Today, I want to share with you 3 essential points that can help you have a slightly more practical way to understand this. Let's go. It's been 3 weeks and the government still hasn't given any explanation. So, where is the money that belongs to these seniors? Where did it end up? Do you know? I don't know. Do you? The government still hasn't come up with a clear solution to this crisis. And that just shows how the INSS is a failed financial pyramid that's doomed to collapse. Why? Because there are more and more, the population is aging, and more of our young people don't want to contribute since they're choosing other sources of income. So, what does that mean for the future? Have you ever stopped to think about that? I hadn't thought about that either. Then I started to realize that they deduct 7.5%, and that amount can go up to 14% of your monthly contribution depending on how much you earn. Okay, you can only retire there at 50, 58 years old. I'm saying 58 because I'm a woman. Okay, in 30 years of contributions, if I had put that accumulated amount into a savings account, not even talking about investing, just putting it in a savings account and not touching it, it would earn much more, and you'd have the guarantee that the money would actually end up in your hands. Because INSS doesn't guarantee that in 30 years you'll actually be able to retire with enough to really live on. My mom, she's 58 years old and she can't retire. So what now? And at first, I didn't have these realizations, these insights. I started having them when my daughter was born. When Helena was born, I started to realize how important it was for me to build solid assets for her, something so she wouldn't have to depend on public transportation, public health care, or public resources to live. Why? Because I went to public school and most of my teachers were substitutes, because there weren't enough teachers. I used public transportation and I was sexually harassed on public transportation. I needed public health care and I almost died waiting in line at the SUS. So I just don't want my daughter to go through that. And for that reason, when Helena was born, I made up my mind and said, I'm going to look for other sources of income. And in the beginning, yes, it was really hard. You know, you try to start an online business, sell a few things here in a little shop, start a clothing store, go to Braz to buy clothes and bring them back to sell. But it wasn't giving me the stability I wanted. And then I started to discover the digital world. Guys, it was like a boom in my head. I had no idea there were so many opportunities online. And no, it's not saturated. If someone told you that, they're wrong. It's not saturated. There's so much to experience within it. And a lot of people are moving toward digital precisely because nowadays people buy way more online. They spend much more time on their phone screens buying and consuming content rather than sitting down reading a book, hanging out in the park, looking at billboards, or reading print newspapers. It's really rare. These days, it's the digital era. We're in the middle of the digital boom. And this is fantastic for us women who want to start our own businesses and have our own limitations. Today, we have all kinds of AI tools out there that can help and make our lives even easier, and you can create things much faster than before. So, I want to give you this insight today. I want to motivate you to go after knowledge, to pursue entrepreneurship, to work on building solid assets for your family, so that in the future, your children won't have to go through the struggles we went through, okay? That's what I wish for you. Success in your professional career, success in your personal growth, and success for your family. The digital world gives us a lot of freedom to be able to share and raise our children more closely, that sense of family warmth that we hadn't had for a long time because we used to leave for work at 7 in the morning and get home at midnight. The digital world has given me that, and that's what I wish for you. Crises. Bye-bye. God bless you all.